having a good day. Welcome to drboystv.com, a home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and today we are going to talk about health, and we're going to talk about some of the things that are going on in our community that are necessary for us to be smarter and to be healthier and to live longer, more prosperous lives. And so the brother that I have with me today is Nathaniel Jordan. He goes by the name, the Minister of Wellness. And he is a health expert that has a lot to say about a lot of things that you're not really going to hear in mainstream media. And so before I begin, I'd like to ask my brother, how you doing today, man?
Hey, I'm doing good, Doc. It's always a pleasure to be on the show. And I also want to shout out to my wife who works close with me, Dr. Chef Felicia Ann, who's tuning in also.
All right. Well, shout out to the wives out there. It's nice to have a smart wife, that they can make us better.
Yeah.
Not look, the young men don't know that yet, but
Yeah.
when you get more mature and you're trying to do grown man stuff, you find that
Right.
that quality woman next to you makes all the difference.
Yes, sir.
So I want to say hello to everybody. I see you putting your B1s in the chat. Don't forget we're Black first on this platform. Doesn't mean you have to be Black to be here, but just know that we are built for the Black community. Black first is important because we have to prioritize ourselves. That means that we must lead. We must lead our movements. We must be the originators of the ideas that influence our community. We must be the ones who are in economic and political and educational and socioeconomic control of all the things that happen in our community, because we're in a mess because other people feel like they have the right to lead. So if you agree with that philosophy, put a B1 in the chat, hashtag B1. Okay, so let's jump into it, brother. All right, so on the Black Boss channel, you were doing some really interesting content that I really thought was worth discussing. And in fact, you cover so many good things that I don't even always know where to begin in our conversations because you always got so many good things to say. So I'm going to start with what's out there right now. Now, I'm going to ask everybody in the audience to give me a yes or no if you saw it. Juvenile, the rapper Juvenile, did a video this week called Vax That Thing Up. And it was something. I put it on my Instagram. My Instagram is The Real Boyce Watkins. If you want to go watch it, go take a look. But it's Vax That Thing Up. And they took the words from the song Back That Thing Up, and they made it into a promotional commercial for the people that want to give out those government shots. Now, we're not even going to say the V word here because that sets off the YouTube bots, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And I thought that video was a little bit sad. In fact, I compared it to, I said, this video, I don't think I've been this sad since Ricky got shot in Boys in the Hood when he was on his way to college. I ain't been that sad in 30 years. I said, man, poor Juvenile must really need money because this is kind of crazy. What are your thoughts on that?
It was a minstrel show. That's what my thoughts are. It was an absolute minstrel show. And it was an abomination that they were, what does a shot have to do with promiscuity? The song was pretty much saying that if you get the shot, you can have free sex, which is of course a lot of the theme of the degenerate hip hop culture. And that's what stood out to me. It was the song and the lyrics. It was this theme of, hey, if you want to live it up, if you want to sleep around and do whatever you're supposed to do and pretty much make a wholesale whore out of yourself, this shot will help you to return to being that way. So, of course, brother, me as a preacher, as a Black preacher on behalf of our people, I just found that type of content, that piece of propaganda absolutely abominable. And I'll just, if I start saying too much, I'm going to get too angry about it because it really bothered me. So I encourage people. I have a uncensored news channel, the Minister of Wellness Unleashed. So if you're really ready for my real thoughts to the people, as you can imagine, they were sending me clips of that. And so it shows you, it's amazing. Black people, I don't understand us. I don't understand. It's like we have all of this anger, and justifiably so, but the white liberal news media, they brainwashed us into just focusing singularly on the police. But when you start looking at our cause of death and what's killing us and causing the most problems in our communities, how in the world do you overlook the European, the medical establishment, the healthcare staff. And how do you overlook that long, bloody, brutal history that continues to this day? That speaks to the brainwashing and the propaganda. So that's all that was. It was horrendous. I mean, I think in one of the lyrics they said they had a young brother on there, and in so many words, it was like, if you want to smash Scott, then get the vax, and if you want to get, I mean, in so many words, if you want to get laid, get the vax. I mean, it's if you want to, so. As you can see here, I mean, instead of throwing the dollars, he's throwing the COVID like he's throwing it at a stripper, and it tells you what they think about our people. They think that we're a bunch of buffoons. That's what they think. It's so degrading what they think about us, that all you have to do is play some beat bop and have our sisters with little or no clothes on shaking their behinds, and you put that to a beat, and that all you have to do, and then look at what they're promoting. Every single negative stereotype about our people is being portrayed in this 1 minute and 48 seconds of minstrel show right here, and all in the name of getting some doggone shot that they haven't even approved in the first place. It's sad, and that tells you right there. Look at that. That's disgusting. That tells you, right. What if that was your daughter? What if that was our daughter? What if that was my daughter? Where are the fathers? Where are the strong black men standing up and making a stand against this type of nonsense? It's just this industry and this type of culture, this type of degenerate culture should be boycotted by our people. It's sad, brother.
Yeah, well, and by the way, everybody who just came in, I'm talking to Nathaniel Jordan, the Minister of Wellness. We're talking about Black health and the things that are killing us, and the way the people who are killing us are also claiming to be the ones who can save us, which I want to actually ask him about in a second. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. I want to ask everybody in the audience, what do you think about that video? Do you think that video backs that thing up? Do you think that was that did more good than harm, or more harm than good? Do you think so? Type good or harm. If you think it did more good than harm, type good. If you think it did more harm than good, type harm. I'd like to see what you all think about it, because one of the things that's interesting about this, brother, is that I'm starting to just realize that there is no sort of one way to define Black culture. I think that as Black people, in our search for unity, we're always hoping for unity. Yes, which is a wonderful thing in theory, but it you run into these cultural clashes where there are some people that look like us who do things that some of us don't understand, and when you come in and you try to say, this isn't really good for you, you might get called an elitist or an uppity Negro. I'm sure people think you're uppity because you actually believe in Black men having dignity and pride and speaking with articulation and marrying and loving a Black woman. I didn't even know I would get backlash for the fact that I was proud to marry a Black woman. There were guys who really thought that was, they kept using the word simp. And where I come from, no, a simp is the guy who is afraid to stand up and take responsibility for his families. So what do you think about that? I mean, how do you, when you see a video like that, I've concluded that those videos are not for me. Like, that's just like, okay, you know what? You got your stupid people out here that's going to fall for anything. God bless y'all, but I'm not one of them. I think it's stupid. I think it's a joke. But good luck to you if you're one of those people who really thinks that you can go and again, what you're talking about, that connection between sex and the vaccine, right? You ain't talking about condoms, ain't talking about sexual intelligence. You're talking about get the shot and go smash Scott. She literally said, if you want to smash a dude named Scott, go get the shot. I'm like, what? So you really think that vaccine's gonna protect you? And I shouldn't say the word. I'm gonna stop saying that word because I don't want to set off the bots. But you really think that shot's gonna protect you from the fact that you sleeping with some dude named Scott? But go ahead, please tell me what you think about that.
Yeah, it's we love to throw around this word coon, and I thought that the textbook definition of a coon is a Black person who works on behalf of white supremacy. If you work on behalf and advocate for white supremacy, which is a system designed to destroy our people, to me, that's the definition of a coon. So we need to analyze and say, who are the real coons that are destroying is the coons, black people who are holding us to self accountability and self responsibility, and teaching us and saying that we have to rise above the excuses, and we have to look in the mirror, and we have to make better choices and better decisions. And a lot of these traps that are being set for our people, we can avoid those traps. Or what about people such as you see in this video who are sitting there and they are being funded and promoted and pushed by white supremacy to push experiments on their own people, all for the love of money, things that they know nothing about, don't even know how it's developed, don't even know how it's supposed to work. Most people don't even have a basic understanding of how the shots work. And that's why me and you collaborating to do an extremely important event that I hope we can announce soon and next time on the podcast about teaching our people all of these basic things. So who's the real coons? What about the drug dealer on the corner? Yeah, we know that the government, that they drop drugs off on the corner to our people. But what about the ones? What about the black people who are willing to take those drugs and sell poison to their own people on behalf of that system? So these are hard questions that we may not. As a matter of fact, I did a video on my latest video, not the one that posted today on the Black Boss channel, but the video I posted a couple of days. I think you just posted it on Fly Nubian Queen on Facebook about the sister dumping pounds of sugar on candy yams. And so I'm wrong to speak out against that. Just because that's a sister doing it, I'm supposed to support black businesses no matter what type of destruction that's supporting. Now, when you look at the epidemic of diabetes, when you look at the epidemic of cancer and stroke, when you look at what my father's going through, and me and you have similar backgrounds, how we were raised, and now, unfortunately, your father, I'm glad he outlasted my father. Unfortunately, now you're going through what I went through. So when you look at that as the minister of wellness, I cannot support seeing a sister take a whole big thing of sugar and nearly pour the entire bag on top of some yams. But yet we know for a fact, Doc, that if a video came out that a white person in a cafeteria, in a black cafeteria, was doing that, if that was a white lady and she was about to feed black children that type of monstrosity, we will be protesting to the high heaven. That video, it would get 5 million views. It's no way we would let a white person do that. So it seems that they have done a great job at to where we are so over focused on the mosquito that's biting us that we're being ran over by a stampede of elephants. And that stampede that we're being trampled by, unfortunately, a lot of times that stampede, we're the ones initiating that stampede. It's like they've rolled out, they've started the genocide, they sowed the seeds, but we're watering those seeds. Now it's like we're running on autopilot when it comes to the destruction.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll tell you, man, it's it is one of those things where, and I want everybody to hear this, when I share this, and I'd like to get my brother's perspective on what I said. I'm not even gonna lay it out as a question. He's a smart man, so I'm sure he's gonna have something to say on this. But I want everybody to understand this. The same people that are telling you to go get this shot or whatever it is that they're telling you to do in order to save your health. These are also the same people who just a few months ago were trying to get you to eat as much Popeye's chicken as possible. They were selling you all the unhealthy food they possibly could. They were promoting artists like Lizzo to tell you that obesity is body positivity, that literally being fat is a wonderful thing, that being fat is as good as being healthy, and that anybody who disagreed is not your friend. You got to understand the hypocrisy of that. How are these people that are telling you? I mean, they're with their standard behavior, they're basically showing you that Black lives really don't matter to them. Because if Black lives mattered, you would not be telling people where millions of our people are dying from obesity and heart disease and strokes and heart attacks, you would not be trying to tell them that obesity is a wonderful thing. And then later on, when the virus comes along and it's taking out the fat people first, let's just keep it 100. It's taking out the obese people, unhealthy people first, weaken immune systems. They come to you and they say, "Oh, you poor little Negro, you just so stupid that you don't know how to protect your own health. Here, let us give you a shot. We'll give you this shot and it'll make things better." What's wrong with me saying that? Other than the fact that maybe I hurt some people's feelings. I imagine people are shocked to kind of hear that, but you can't make no sense at all. Make it make sense. What do you think, brother?
I agree with you 100%. I agree with you. And again, who's the real coons? The brothers that are standing strong against that type of foolishness, or somebody that because they can't lose weight, they're going to go on a campaign to try to convince as many of our girls as possible that it's okay to be fat. Let me tell you about obesity. Obesity increases the risk of a little black girl hitting puberty early. The more body fat, that estrogenic body fat, is why our little girls are developing full breast and hitting there and having full blown periods at age 7. And the science is clear. People love talking about science. It's very clear that the earlier a girl hits puberty, the higher their risk for breast cancer. It's a known fact that black women have much more aggressive forms of breast cancer and die much faster from the same. So black woman, white woman, get diagnosed with breast cancer, the black woman is going to die much quicker. Why? First of all, she's vitamin D deficient because of the melanin in the skin. That's not emphasized. Second of all, because more likely than not, the sister is going to be more overweight, carrying excess body fat. Obesity, excess body fat, is linked to 30 to 40 different diseases. We don't need any more diseases in our community. We do not need our little black girls believing that it's okay to be obese, to set themselves up for life. Then you get the breast cancer. Then you marching in these stupid breast cancer awareness month marches that are doing nothing to eradicate it. Then you're going to go to an oncologist and he's going to castrate you of your entire reproductive system because you were listening to some dumb singer tell you that it's okay for you to continue to destroy yourself. But yet, when a black preacher stands up on behalf of his people, of his women, I've lost 100 pounds in reverse heart disease. The ministerofwellness.com. I have a whole flood of success stories. I have a whole link where I can show you black women who have lost weight and lost obesity. I can help her out. I wish somebody would give her my information because I feel sorry for the sister. It's one thing to struggle, but how dare you use your fame to export your illness, your sickness? That's wrong and that's evil. And the blood of those little girls, those black girls and those black women who decide to accept your destructive message, you're going to be held responsible for that. And I don't understand I just don't understand this. And we know that the churches, that just tells you that these slave theology churches, Doc, just like on 12 Years a Slave when the racist white man, that tells you how useless these churches are, because the churches are filled with overweight black women. And why would they allow this type of nonsense to go on and not speak out against that? It's a dangerous, destructive, and deadly message. And I'm proud of you for taking a stand against that. And I'm going to continue to take a stand against that, because you can't live a long life in excellent health being that way. And you don't have to accept being that way. And I'm living proof of what happens when a brother tries to rise up with a healthy message. I got banned from YouTube a second time a few days ago. I came back, and in 4 days, they didn't even let me get to 900 subscribers. And they said that my channel was full of spam. and kicked me out with no warnings or anything, kicked me off a second time. However, I'm back up. I don't have any content up because at this point, I don't even know if they'll let me talk about the health benefits of eating an apple. But you can find me at Black Health Preacher if you want to search for that and subscribe, and I'll decide what I can and can't post. So just search for Black Health Preacher, and that'll be my third try to have some type of presence here. But I thank you, brother, for having me on your platforms. I really do.
Oh, I'm always glad to have you, and I hope everybody in the chat will express their appreciation for the fact that he is sharing a message that isn't popular, but we know that the popular message isn't working. We know that which is popular, the mainstream message isn't working because Black people are dying every day. Give me a yes or no if you agree with me that too many Black people are dying for things that could have been prevented. Everybody's using that stupid term, Black Lives Matter. They don't believe that term. I'm not calling it stupid because I disagree. I'm calling it stupid because they don't mean it. If Black lives really matter, then you would keep Black people alive. If Black lives matter, then you would protect Black lives. Right. So tell me if you understand what's going on here, why we are being 100% clear about this. It's time to stop the nonsense. It's time to confront the foolishness and really talk about this because in Chicago, I know this weekend, this is a public health crisis. Over 100 people. Did y'all know? Give me a yes or no if y'all knew that in Chicago this weekend, over 100 people got shot. Did any of y'all know that? Right. And they distract you with these dog whistle issues like, oh, well, this one person had a police confrontation in Idaho, but they won't talk about the 100 Black people that got shot in Chicago and the 100 that are going to get shot next week. Dozens of those people that were shot were children. Your children are being shot and you don't even care because you're so focused on whatever white folks got you talking about. Right. Get the hell out of here with that stupidity. That drives me crazy. Right. And let me just and I'd like for you to address that, brother. But I also want to mention, I want to read this list to you, and I'd like to get your thoughts on this because you're a smart guy. I'm sure you have something to say on this. I looked up while you were talking. I looked up the health effects of obesity, and so I'm challenging your brilliant mind by hitting you with two topics at once: the shootings and the obesity thing, which we were discussing that. But here are the health effects listed from obesity according to HealthyWeight.com. High blood pressure. High cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, coronary heart disease, strokes, gallbladder disease, sleep apnea, and breathing problems. And everybody say something in the chat if you have anybody in your family that has suffered from any of these things. Put a yes in the chat if you've ever had anybody in your family have high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, coronary heart disease, strokes, gallbladder disease, sleep apnea. They said many types of cancer, mental illness such as clinical depression, anxiety, or other mental disorders, body pain, and difficulty with physical functioning. What say you about this list that I just read?
Yeah, and again, but we're going to allow somebody to use their celebrity to promote that type of death and destruction. And I love that it pointed out the mental effects because I've been preaching for 3 years that mental illness, the root cause of mental illness is how we feed the brain. And when you put those fatty deposits into your brain cells, what you have to understand is there are trillions of brain vessels, blood vessels in your brain that carries and transmit neurotransmitters that control behavior. And when you clog up the blood vessels and arteries in your brain with fat tissue, with cholesterol, with oily fried foods, it stops your brain from helping you to behave correctly. They've already done the study showing that you can go into a prison with violent criminals, and if you simply change their diet, if you give them food that will help their brain, it can dramatically improve their behavior. And all you have to do is do a self-experimentation. I know this myself. If I fall off at this point, the things that I have to keep myself away from, or all the vegan junk foods. I'm very strict. I don't eat any animal at all whatsoever, but there's a lot of vegan junk food that's still not healthy. And I can tell an immediate difference. If I go and get a vegan cinnamon roll, let's say, my wife, Dr. Chef, she can feel a immediate difference in even my mood. I immediately feel lethargic. It makes me not want to do anything versus today when I had my chili, my She cooked up a delicious potato salad, chili, baked beans, and I feel incredible. So I like, so again, obesity linked to 30, 40 different diseases. Lizzo should be ashamed of herself, and any Black person that would support her pushing a message of disease acceptance should be ashamed of themselves. That's treason against our people. And as far as what's going on in Chicago, again, the mental health aspect is being overlooked, and also the Black family structure. The Black family structure, let Black Lives Matter. They took it off their website, but they're against Black family structure. Male and female created he them, and he blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and multiply." That's one of the bedrocks of our people. So if you are not, if you don't stand and support the Black man and the Black woman coming together in marriage and raising their children in the love of the Most High together, then you cannot claim to care about Black lives. So you don't even want that. And then you add the destructive, brain damaging, violence inducing frankenfoods. And then that again, how can you say that that your organization stands for Black Lives Matter when the two most critical, what's more important than Black man and Black woman in a harmonious marriage? That first of all, and then that married Black family, we want them to be healthy, right? And you don't even stand for any of those issues. So what is your organization really about? What does that statement really mean?
Well, it sounds like it sounds like you the Klan. It sounds to me like I mean, I don't think the Klan. Give me a yes or no if y'all get what I'm saying on this. But if you look at the fact that probably millions of our people die regularly from unhealthy food that's served to us, by our masters, the Klan ain't never killed millions of Black people. The Klan could not do a better job of killing Black people than some of these corporations and these entities that we love and respect so much. And it's really a tough conversation because I actually kind of challenged Roland Martin a little bit on this. Roland was mentioning that he was saying that corporations, big white corporations, should support Black media by buying ads on Black media. Right now, I can get that. I understand that to a point. They sell a lot of products to Black people. Some of that money should come to us, no question. But I said, but if you're confronting, I think he mentioned Pepsi, and I said, so what's happening is you're effectively saying that white companies that sell unhealthy products should sell more of those products to Black people, right? So they buy ads on like maybe the Black News Channel, which is a white-owned media outlet. That Mark Lamont Hill's on that media outlet, and y'all see the bias in the agenda. And so they're selling more of these unhealthy products to Black people, and certain people are making money from this transaction. But the question is, does the community benefit? Because at the end of the day, the same people that are telling you to feel sorry for yourself because you're dying first from the virus, the same people that are telling you to go get this government shot. Again, these were the same people who were telling you to go buy more Popeye's chicken. They're the ones telling you to drink Pepsi and Coke and do all these other things, right? It's only people like Nathaniel Jordan who might say, no, actually, consider eating this instead of that, right? And they'll ban him for saying something that is going to keep you alive, but they will promote something that is going to lead you to an early grave. We got to kind of challenge that, don't you think? I mean, how do we even begin to confront that?
Right, and then they're offering free things now for if you take the shot. Remember, they're offering, you can get free beer, donuts, McDookie's. So you can have your McDookie's meal, a beer, donuts, and then I think in Virginia they're giving away free rifles. I mean, and that's how ridiculous this is. All the propaganda that they're pushing. How you fight it is knowledge. You fight it with the knowledge and the understanding of what's going on. The scriptures say that if a bird sees a trap being set before it, that the bird knows how to avoid the trap. Well, unfortunately, we have a lot of people who are not even doing what a bird has the capabilities of doing. Birds don't just fall into traps. So why are we falling into these traps? The reason why is because of fear. Because none of us don't want to die. And when people don't want to die, they're willing to do anything, even if it's selling their soul to the devil to stay alive. So we have to get our people out of the fear of dying. And the only way to do that is teaching our people how to eat to live. But how many black preachers that come from a biblical perspective have the position that I have, Doc. I mean, it's like a man on an island. And like I said, I'm competing against all of these sellout mega church pastors who are all pushing this shot. They give them the audience. And as soon as they won't even let me get 1,000 subscribers because they don't want my voice to be heard, because they know that if the information got big enough and got wide enough, that it will be enough to change people. I'll tell you this, Doc, there's a lot of European controlled anti-you-know-what organizations. And I noticed that before they would throw them off of YouTube, Facebook, and so forth, they would at least let them gain a certain level of prominence. And so there's some very high level anti-shot organizations out there that I follow, and they are massive and they are worldwide. What is it about the anti-shot black preacher that scares them so much? Well, I can tell you why it scares them so much. Let me throw out some names to you about some of the shoulders that I'm honored to try to continue in the tradition of these following black pastors. And we can see why they're always scared of that melanated preacher. Marcus Garvey, Nat Turner, Minister Louis Farrakhan, Khalid Abdul Muhammad, Denmark Vesey. So that's just amazing. It's amazing to me the fear, how terrified they are, and how quickly and how they're so quick to suppress when they see a black preacher, because that agenda, everything destructive and negative, they use our face to push it against us. As I saw you was posting about that horrendous BET Awards minstrel show that happened a few days ago with the unfortunate brother Lil Nas X. Now they'll give that. Now, so you tell me, brother, that it's okay to show that on YouTube, but I can't even. They banned my second channel because they said I was spamming people just because I was directing people to sign up on my email list. This is the type of treatment that I get just for, and I'm a ministry that has literally helped thousands of people from around the world. So that tells you the type of world that we live in. That's allowed right there. That's allowed. That's called, they consider that black empowerment. That's being promoted. But then it's hate speech to have a stance against that and say that it ain't no way that I'm going to teach my 9 and 7-year-old sons how to be men, how to be black men, and how to grow up and love and care for a black woman and raise their black children under the laws and commandments of the Most High, because that's what we need. That's considered hate speech, and you get thrown off. I have no doubt about it, Doc, and that's why I'm excited, as we was talking before about us talking about collaborating on the event, because there's no way they can suppress the truth. And like I told you, even me, with all the censorship I've been under, because our people are out there searching and they see the propaganda, this is the time for forces to collaborate. And so I just encourage that, for us to come together on the principles we agree on. Don't have to agree on every single thing. And this is the time right here to do something together that can get that message and overpower that propaganda. So I'm really excited because we're going to save a lot of our people. We are.
Well, I agree with you. And everybody, in case you just came in, I'm speaking with Nathaniel Jordan, aka the Minister of Wellness. And by the way, brother, what is your email address? I'm gonna put that on the screen.
Yeah, so my email is,
I'm sorry, your website. I meant to say website.
Yeah, the website is theministerofwellness.com. Theministerofwellness.com. You can go there. You can join the list. You can join the daily list. You can also see my success stories. You can also join the Unleashed News channel. I post a lot of uncensored videos. So I did a segment today on the channel. And then every Wednesday, me and my wife, Dr. Chef Felicia Ann Jordan, we do group health coaching every Wednesday. The first Sunday of every month, we do a live stream event. And again, I believe at the end of September 24th or 25th, we want to be doing something because we have they're terrifying people with a lot of new viral strain. And on my website also, I have books, I have DVDs, I have very high quality supplements that sell out real fast. And if you need to make a phone call, the number to call is 888-847-8026. So if you would like to call us, we're open now until 7 p.m. That's 888-847-8026. So that's the number, the minister of wellness.com. A lot of good stuff for those who decide to join the channel. We're all for our people. We're unapologetic. We have a few white people that follow us and they get so mad because I come so strong for our people, but we cannot let the guilt of white people stop us from being hard about our people. Because like I said, I follow the real large anti-shot organizations, and they are clearly about their people. Whenever I attend one of their health conferences and their health seminars, it's all white people on the panel. They'll have a few of us sprinkled in there, but it's mostly by them, for them. So why in the world should we have to be upset that we're about to do a B1 health conference to prepare our people for what's to come?
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. And everybody, the URL is the ministerofwellness.com. That's his website. Also, he's on the blackbosschannel.com. That's our platform for black men who have something to say. Jeff Lightsey Jr. is over there. We have a brother, Dr. Adrian Carter, who is a relationship expert, very smart brother. And also Farmer Brown, the MC, aka Trevor Graham, talks about growing your own food. So there's a lot of content over there on that topic. And they talk about sports and finance and politics and everything from a black male perspective. So if you are a black male or you want to hear from black men, go to the Black Boss channel. We breed bosses. We breed black men that believe in masculine leadership, and we ain't scared of nobody. So thank you all for hanging out with us today. And I'm just gonna say, man, I think that people are going to continue to do what they're going to do. They're going to continue to try to get black folks to fall for the okie doke, and it's their right to try to do that. But I think it's also our right to resist, right? So I resist everything that they tell me in terms of politics. Not everything, but a big chunk of it. I resist almost everything they tell me in terms of my health. I resist almost everything they tell me about how I'm supposed to relate to black women and family. I resist everything they tell me about money. Because you must understand, and you guys know this, those of you who are in our book club, we have our book club every week where we're covering Black Labor, White Wealth by Dr. Claude Anderson. And one of the most important points that Dr. Anderson mentioned, and I'm gonna let you get the last word on that, brother, is that the reason black people have to be skeptical of this idea that white people are going to save you is because white people were able to build their wealth and power by exploiting you. Right. So they this idea that they're going to empower you is just a false idea, because empowering you means hurting themselves. If the only way I can get $1 is to take the dollar from you, then don't wait for me to give you $1, because if I give you $1, I'm taking $1 from myself. So effectively, if you look at everything, most of the instructions that we receive from our oppressor on how to be successful end up actually being instructions on how to fail. Everything. It's like having the other basketball team teach you how to score points. The other team will never teach you how to put the ball in your own basket. They will only teach you how to put it in their basket. And if you're silly enough to fall for the okie doke, then you're gonna keep putting the ball in the wrong basket. Am I right or am I right? The evidence is all around you. It ain't like this is theory. I'm not giving you speculation, and I don't have to hand wave and prove this to you. Go to your damn neighborhood. Look at how torn up everything is. There ain't no jobs around. Ain't no power out there. Ain't no education. Your kids run around looking half crazy. Your health is shot to hell. A lot of our people are failing, and it is because they're getting very bad advice. So don't take the bad advice. Take the good advice. That's what you got to do. Brother, I'll let you get the last word. What are your final thoughts?
Yeah, that was well said. Come out from among her, my people, and be not partaker of her plagues. We have to come out of this system. We have to come out of all forms of white supremacy. And the greatest form of white supremacy outside of the absolute destruction of the Black family. And when I say Black family, since it's 2001, I have to be clear. I'm talking about Black male with Black female. That's what I'm talking about. And outside of that destruction, it's the health, it's the destruction of our immune system intentionally with franken foods. And then once they get you sick, they use the fear of dying from food inflicted disease to experiment on you like you're a lab rat. That is the greatest form of white supremacy. What is a people without their health? You're nothing. If you don't have a brain that can even learn about what Doc is teaching you about economics, what good is the teachings if you're brain damaged? And then what if you do it? What if you have somebody who's your best student, Doc, and they become a millionaire and drop dead at age 40 from heart disease? Or worse, Doc, what if they get diagnosed with cancer? And you know what them Europeans do when you get diagnosed with cancer? They'll take all your wealth because you'll be so scared. You will literally give them every penny that Doc taught you how to get until you die and you left broke. The leading cause of bankruptcy is medical bills. 25% of the U.S. wealth is spent on health care, on sick people. So it's an impossible elephant to ignore. It's an impossible elephant to ignore.
I just put facts on the screen. Sometimes I put the comments from the audience up there. That's how I wrote that comment. Those are facts. You can't argue with that. You can't argue with this brother just said. That's 100% true. Your quality of life is determined by three things: health, wealth, and relationships. If you don't manage those three things, one will destroy the other. If you don't take care of your relationships, it'll destroy your health and it'll destroy all your wealth. If you don't take care of your health, then that'll destroy your wealth. It'll destroy your relationships, right? So ultimately, it's the trifecta of living a quality life. And so I encourage y'all to listen. What this brother said makes 100% sense. And I love you for that, man. And I'm so happy to always have you on. And I hope everybody will take a moment and give a digital thank you to our brother Nathaniel Jordan, aka the Minister of Wellness. I'm gonna put his website on the screen. Everybody just say thank you. Let them know you appreciate them. Let them know we got to appreciate the Black men in the community that are speaking the truth that isn't going to be heard in mainstream media. Stop measuring success by whether or not a Negro gets on TV. Sometimes that's a measure of failure. That doesn't mean you succeeded. That means you failed. The most successful Black people in your community are the ones they don't want you to hear. This brother's in that category, and I respect you for that. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir, my brother. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, everybody, please hit the thumbs up, share, subscribe button before you go. Also, the ministerofwellness.com is Nathaniel Jordan's website. I encourage you to go support that. He's also on the blackbosschannel.com as well. We have a partnership, and I'm very proud of that. I'm very happy to work with him. And everybody, please have a wonderful day, and God bless you all, and we will see you soon. Take care now. Peace. Thanks a lot, brother.